Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Ask the Wizard, streaming live almost daily. The title for this one, it sounds kind of like a downer at first glance. What if there's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? It's actually very inspirational, but just hang with me. I'm going to start the 5-minute timer right now. And very powerful. Another way you could think of this is, I know what I'm supposed to do, and it doesn't seem to be working, so what do I do while I'm waiting for it to work? But that was a lot longer, all right? Sounds good. 5 minutes. I will see. Hey everyone, how you doing? Russ here, Ask the Wizard, streaming live almost daily. Hold on a sec. One of these, the motor's kind of noisy, so I just turned it off. There we are. Okay. How's everybody doing today? It is, what day is it? It's Monday, February the whatevers, the 13th. Two things. The title for this one, I guess, don't mind me, I'm just going to adjust things a little bit here. The title for this one, actually, wow, there's kind of two of them, two thoughts in my head that sort of, three thoughts. I got dizzy, almost passed out, but I need the sound effects. See, I've got a sound effects thing, but I never really did anything with it. Here's a sound effect. How do I stop it? Crap, there, I think. Anyway, I need like sound effects, you know. So it was a meditation gathering way back in when the Healing Center used to have regular meditation gatherings for just a long, long time. And they would have teaching topics. And one of them, the title of it was, What if there's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? And the theme behind the teaching topic for that was, would you still, you see, so many times we do what we do, let's say in the way of service or creating, following our mission, our purpose, that type of thing. And in a way, actually, there was a documentary on last night about A&M Records. Incredibly successful. And they kind of had this same philosophy. They said, They wanted to, and they created a company that made great records. The money was secondary. And I think it kind of fits with this. It's really easy to slip into, I'm doing this, whatever this is, to make money. Which, again, there's nothing wrong with that. I did another teaching series that was, do you have a business or are you on a mission? And they have similarities, but they're also very different. If you're on a mission, you're doing it because this is what you're here to do. And then the finances will be supplied however, whether it's in direct response to what you're doing or coming from somewhere else, right? That's not our job in so many ways. Our job is to be out there and doing what we know we're here to do, and again, fulfilling our purpose and our mission the best we can. And that was the theme of it was, so what if there was no payoff? Like, what if there was no payoff? No pot of gold at the end of this rainbow for all, believe me, I know you guys too, the trials and tribulations and challenges, and those are often the most pleasant words we can use for a lot of those things. What if there was no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? I mean, I used to travel a lot, and the people I would interact with, that the meetings were most assuredly, if you will, divinely orchestrated. I remember once I was in Anaheim, John Wayne, Anaheim airport, waiting to fly back from a workshop, and there was a young couple sitting across the way, and she was upset. She was kind of, I don't know if she was crying, but that type of thing, and he was trying to console her and stuff like that. And I just felt compelled to go over there and chat with them. So I did, and we had a really meaningful conversation, and I know it provided a lot of value to them. Now, what happened after, they went their way, I went mine? I have no idea, right? So what if there is no payoff, no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Would you still do it? Would you still go? Would you still stretch? Would you still challenge yourself? Would you still, step out on that limb, not knowing whether it's going to be sawed off or not? Would you still do it? And that's a valuable question to ask yourself. Now, kind of moving around to what you do about that. And the other title, as I said in the intro, which was way too long, was, so what do you do if you're doing what you know you're supposed to be doing, but it doesn't appear to be working until it starts to work? What do you do waiting for things to start rocking and rolling? Or what do you do if they have been and then they've stopped? And I think that's worse. No, I don't. I know that's worse. Believe me. I think the only thing worse than not having it is having it and then losing it. But I digress. I think it was Jack Canfield, I believe, that I first heard say this. I'm sure he's not the only one. But somebody asked him, they'd written a book. And they said, okay, I've written my book, and I'm kind of just paraphrasing here and remembering it, but I've written my book and I've submitted it to publishers and all that kind of stuff. So what do I do while I'm waiting? And he says, write another book. Artists that were the proverbial overnight sensations, they have the hit song, all this kind of stuff. But how many hundreds probably of songs had they been writing for maybe who knows how long, and never got published? Or you know what? Maybe they looked at them, they decided, this song is crap, but they kept writing. And that's the theme of this video is when you're doing what you know you're here to do. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be doing it perfect or anything like that. But when you're here doing what you know you're here to do, and you're not, at least from your observation, seeing the results of that, seeing the momentum building, like what do you do while you're waiting for that momentum to build? You keep doing what you're doing, even though you're not seeing the results, the payback, the proverbial pot of gold for doing it. Why? Because that's what you're put here to do. And me in movies, Now You See Me 1, I believe. It's a really cool movie. And at the end of it, they're talking, kind of the main characters, the heroes and heroine of the story, basically were saying, even they were on this grand adventure and all this kind of stuff, and they said, searching for this mystical group of magicians called the Eye. But she said, even if this was all a trick or a farce and we kind of, end up in jail for forever sort of thing, it would have been worth it. And I guess in some respects, even if nothing ever happens, even if it crashes and burns, you are out fulfilling your mission to the best of your ability. And the importance of that cannot be overestimated. What triggered this whole thing was I like building and creating things. And I found a new tool, actually, and one of the other tools is called Canva that you use. I make the YouTube thumbnails and a bunch of stuff with it. Great online program. They have now, you can build a website. It'll look really good, actually. And so I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I should rebuild the website. Just rebuild it because it'd look really cool and freshen it up and all that kind of stuff. Now, here's what the voice says. The voice says, why bother? Nobody is going to see it anyway. Nobody goes to the website. Why bother rebuilding, refreshing, recreating the website? Because nobody's going to see it anyway. Well, I have two things to say to that. And what I replied to that voice, right, was I'll see it. And probably the more important one was the reason I do it is because that's what I'm put here to do. Is to create the teachings, is to continue to believe, is to offer service as best I can. That's what I'm here to do. No matter how many days I sort of knock it out of the park, which haven't been many lately, how many days you kind of ground her into the dirt, but you just keep doing it because that's what I am here to do, even if nobody sees it. Even if I don't see any of the fruits of it. First of all, that's what I'm here to do. And the best way for me to create an environment where I will see the fruits of it is to keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, you change, you evolve, you modify it as you go, but you keep doing what you're doing. And I'll close with this. So if you're doing your best to fulfill your mission, to fulfill service to others, to fulfill your purpose, and you don't seem to be seeing the results, what do you do while you're waiting? You don't wait. You keep doing it, no matter what. And it's almost taking that approach, and my hashtag too stubborn to quit, that it's like, it doesn't matter if I never see the fruits of this labor. I'm going to do it anyway. And I really believe there's such power in, my hashtag too stubborn to quit, and just refusing to quit. And you keep doing it, keep offering, keep trying, keep believing, even though you maybe don't see any results from it. And again, assume that position where it doesn't matter. If I never see any results, I'm going to keep going no matter what. And I think when we get to that spot, where it's kind of like there's no turning back, it doesn't matter, you're just going. I think there's so much power, so much creative power in that. In crossing those bridges and turning around and setting them on fire so there's nowhere to go but straight ahead, nor would you want to go anywhere but straight ahead. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Share. We're all in this together. See you on the web.